Joining me in this conversation is Apoorve Goyal, MD Prosus. Welcome, Apoorve. My first question to you is Prosus is investing globally. So how do you see future of India evolving with AI coming in?
Thanks, Ritika. It's a very pertinent question. I guess the right for India to win in this whole AI space lies in the fact that India is a country of 1.3 billion people, and the first wave of e-commerce in this country has already created a lot of data about how the products and services are consumed in this country by its users, right? Now, as AI comes into picture and starts proliferating more and more, that data that the first wave of e-commerce companies have created about the users will be used to create more personalizations, more product recommendations, to improve supply chain efficiencies, to drive conversions and everything. And that, I think, will create a moat for larger marketplaces that, for example, Prosus own, to improve conversions, drive more traffic and drive more sales and create $100 billion outcomes. So to me, India's right to win in this whole AI world stands in the fact that it has a lot of data driven by the large population that it has and the diversity of that data that it has, because there are different people, different tastes, different preferences, different consumption habits, and all of that is going to feed into AI and help drive more personalized recommendations and adoptions of products online.
Well, India is going through a startup boom. Yeah. What role do you think AI plays in this competitive era?
Very, very important, I would say. I think what used to take months in terms of launching a product probably now takes weeks or days to launch a new product or application or actually anything that you want to build at the back end. And that has only been possible because of the large language models coming in, majority of them being open source, which are freely accessible to startups without any cost, etc., and being out of box and being able to rapidly deploy. And that is where I think startups can build an outcome which is faster than what traditional companies have taken so far in future, and that is what will become their right to win as AI becomes more and more proliferated in this country.
How is AI shaping marketplaces and what role does Prosus play in that?
I think AI plays a hugely important role in marketplaces. I think marketplaces face a very important and a difficult problem, which is basically matchmaking between sellers and buyers. There are a multitude of sellers, there are a multitude of products, then there are a multitude of consumers, multiple delivery locations to address. And there's so much data that you have to basically be a pioneer in adopting disruptive technologies to be able to solve the problem at scale. I think Indian marketplaces have done a phenomenal job of it. Meesho, Swiggy, some of our portfolio companies are classic examples of it solving at scale. But I think generative AI, with its ability to synthesize large pools of data and convert it into actionable insights with reasonable accuracy, it's going to be a game changer for itself. So for example, today Meesho has 3 million product listings. How do you distill it down to 1,000 products to then 20 products and then show those 20 products basis the user's taste, preferences, region, past consumption play, is where I think generative AI is playing a very, very important role. Another example is that in India, people typically find typing on mobile in English very, very difficult. They prefer using voice search if they can on some of these e-commerce platforms. Company like Meesho has pioneered that, and now more than 60,000 searches, product searches on the platform are actually happening through voice, which is then adding another complete new funnel of users in terms of consuming e-commerce products, right? So I think AI will completely transform the way marketplaces operate and the way products and services are consumed. I think within the marketplaces also, the ones which are large, which have a lot of data, to my earlier point, are able to leverage that data and marry it with the generative AI and its disruptive power, will be the ultimate winners.
How do you think the landscape of fintech and payment is changing?
Yeah, I think it's changing very, very rapidly. Again, to my point, maybe 10 years back, it used to take maybe a month for a lending institution, for example, to give you a loan or give you a sanction for a loan, because they will take all the papers manually, they will take your KYC information manually, they will process it at the back end, and then they will tell you in a few weeks' time whether you are applicable for a loan or not, right? Now with the machine learning models coming in with digital KYC, which is Government of India's initiative, especially driven by Aadhaar, that months period has actually come down to few hours time, right? So a lot of fintech platforms in India going through this KYC layer, going through this underwriting layer can actually give you a sanction in a matter of few minutes to few hours. And that's like completely transformed the way financial products and services are consumed. And it's just aiding the growth of the lending sector in this country a lot. Another use case is basically in fraud detection. I think ML and AI models are increasingly helping prevent fraud. Say for example, when you're making credit card payments, they're able to detect whether the credit card is yours or somebody else's. If you're making an insurance claim, they're able to figure out whether the insurance claim was genuine or not, or legitimate or not. And that is again like helping the companies also give superior customer experience while obviously enhancing their bottom line and the top line as well. So I think a lot of scope for AI to disrupt the way fintech and the financial services companies have operated in this country.
Thank you, Apoorve, for joining us in this enlightening conversation.
No, thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you, Ritika.
So much.
Thank you.